In this video, we're going to get the engine in the car and get it running. Here's a recap on everything I've done to the car up until this point. Alright, so today I'm going to make my main focus on getting the engine back into this engine bay. If you've missed the last video, the rocker cover on my engine has a little crack in it, so the first thing that we have to do is replace this rocker cover. You can see the hole in the rocker cover there. I went to BMW and I got a new gasket, so that's all I was waiting for. So I can put the gasket into the rocker cover and then we can get this rocker cover on the engine. I've also got one engine mount to install, and then what we're going to have to do is, I've just test fit the subframe on the car, but I'll have to remove this subframe back off, attach the subframe to the engine. It just goes through this bolt on the engine mount here. Here's the other mount. This mount will bolt into there, like that, and then the engine will bolt onto the subframe, and we'll put the subframe and the engine all into the car in one go. But you can see I've got everything built up in the engine bay. I don't think we're missing anything from here. All the pipes are in, sound deadening's in, heat shields are in, all the wiring's in. This wire comes across and just goes over to the ECU and stuff. But yeah, so we're just gonna crack on straight away, getting all of these things removed off the top of the engine. There's loads of stuff, fuel pumps, coil packs, fuel lines, wires, loads of stuff. I'm gonna start with all the electrical connectors first and then just make my way around everything else. So coil packs. Pretty basic, but if you didn't know, there's 6 different coil packs. Because obviously the car has 6 cylinders, you've got a coil pack for each cylinder. Your coil pack's just what sends your spark down to your spark plug. I'm going to lay these out on the floor and keep them in order. Right, now that I've hoovered down all the gaps, I've got all of the debris that's sitting in all the holes, so I'm just going to take all the bolts out now for the rocker cover, and then it should just pop straight off. Right, so I've got the rocker cover off now, and I think it's all right. I'm obviously no expert on engines, but I've hoovered out all of the dirt that was like sitting in any gaps. See, there's a bit there. I don't want anything inside of the engine, but overall, I think it's all right. Fingers crossed. Obviously, we're not going to know until we put it in the car and try run it. But I mean, it's pretty clean in here, and there wasn't any really debris inside. I was just hoovering down all the gaps, like down the injector holes and stuff. So I'm going to get all of the surfaces cleaned up now. All of the edges around, I need to clean them all down. Got the gasket all in there, so now I just need to flip it over, put it on the engine. You need to tighten it down in sort of a star pattern, so you know, work your way from the inside out and go around. There will be a specific procedure for it, but I mean, it's common sense. Here goes nothing. This engine mount's all shattered. You can see it's got a crack straight down the middle of it, so got a new one here. Just goes like this little bracket there. This is the engine mount for the other side, so I'm going to install that one as well.
So I have a damaged slam panel off of my M3, I have a damaged slam panel off of my donor M4, and then I basically bought all the other bits that I needed to make up the rest of the slam panel. So what I'm doing here is just dismantling all of those slam panels and building a good one back together. This is the next day and the engine was ready to go in now. I just used the engine crane to lift the engine up and then used a jack to support the back of the gearbox, and I did have to install this gearbox mount onto the gearbox before we put the engine in. I did try to put the engine in with the subframe already on the car, but this failed miserably. I don't know why I even tried this because I knew it wouldn't work.
So I've got the engine lowered down onto the subframe now. You can see directly beneath the car. So the subframe should be exactly where it needs to be. So when I lower the car down, it should theoretically be right where it needs to be. Well, it's definitely going to need a little bit of wiggling, but that was the easiest way probably of doing it. I've just got the jack supporting the gearbox at the back just to keep it sort of level. Yeah, I'm gonna have to lower the car down now. Hopefully all the bolt holes are close enough on the subframe, and then just put the bolts in on the subframe, and that should be the engine in the car, fingers crossed. It would have been hard for you to see, but I was just underneath the car there and I put the bolts in for the gearbox mount. So obviously there's all the bolts for the subframe here, but then where the gearbox sits at the middle section of the car, there's a mount. I'll come under the car and I'll show you in a minute, but I was just putting all the bolts in for that. So now the gearbox is lifted up on the back and you can see the engine has sat down on the subframe perfectly. So now I just need to tighten these bolts up and that's going to be it fully in. You see it lift up there. So as I tighten this right now, you see this gap, it's going to nip. Yes, yes, it's in. And look, so we've got that bolt in, we've got that bolt in. You can see that this lines up perfectly as well. And I need to put the bolt in here. Now we've got to do the same on the other side. Oh my god, this is so cool. Alright boys, this is mental, but the engine is now in. This is crazy. So I can disconnect the engine crane now. Oh my god, man. Theoretically, I should be able to run the engine if I just had an ECU. So if you're anything like me, working really long days and late hours and taking on mad projects, you might find yourself going to the shops, buying these energy drinks, which are really, really bad for you. What I've recently switched to that's a much better alternative to conventional energy drinks is Holy. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I won't promote shit or something that I don't actually use, but Holy is actually good for you. It uses 0 sugar and all natural flavorings. This is the starter set deluxe, which has 3 different boxes inside of all the different types of flavors. So you can go through all the flavors and find the ones you like before buying a big tub. The most important thing is obviously that it tastes really good, and I've been using it for about a week now, and every flavor I've had so far does actually taste really good, and it's completely sustainable because all the packaging is recyclable and the bottle is reusable. And it's just so much more convenient for me to be able to get one of these sachets and just mix it with a bit of water than having to go to the shops and also spending loads of money. Like I was spending probably, I don't even want to know how much money I was spending on these conventional energy drinks. Like I was having 2 or 3 of them a day. So this is a much cheaper alternative as well. So if you want to try Holy for yourself, you can use my code JoeJames5 for £5 off your first order, and you can use code JoeJames for 10% off all orders after that. Right, now let's go get that M4 started.
First thing on the list is to connect up the fuel lines, which you can see me doing here, and then to install the ECU. So this just goes in this little corner next to the engine, and then we've got to connect all of the plugs up. I then installed the battery in the boot.
Now that the engine's in, I've just got a few things on the underside that we need to plug in. So, well, I'll show you what I couldn't show you before about the gearbox mount. This is the gearbox mount here, this like L-shaped bracket. And obviously you can see here, bolts, bolts, bolts. Bolt in there, bolt there, so everything lines up perfectly, which is great. But we've got an electrical connector here. I also need to put the ground on, which goes up there. I'm gonna have to clean that off. Goes, and then the nut. I'm just gonna go around and tighten up all of the subframe bolts as well, because I didn't tighten them fully up before. I'm gonna do a cross pattern. I need to replace this gearbox mount, but stupidly, I didn't take the old broken one off the gearbox, so I've got to get to the 3 bolts up there, which is quite difficult. So I'm having to use 8mm open-ended spanner, and I can just get up there, because it's a really tight gap. I'm having such a nightmare trying to get this out. Look at that bolt up there. Oh, that was so difficult to get out. I'll put the new one in now. Right, I've got that all installed now, all 3 bolts in. You can see there's one there, one at the top, and then another one up there. So now, this little piece attaches to it. Alright, so now I need to connect up the prop shaft to the gearbox. This is what spins your rear wheels. Obviously the gearbox spins your prop shaft, and then through the rear diff that spins your rear wheels. I've also just found out some really bad information about the gearbox. It has to also be coded to the car. So this car, even if I manage to get it running, it's not going to be able to drive because the gearbox is also going to need coded. So that's just going to be loads more money. So that's just great fun, isn't it? That's what we like to hear. If you can't tell, that was a joke. I'm not enthusiastic about that at all. So now there's just 3 bolts which hold the prop shaft to the donut. If you don't know what the donut is, I'll show you. There's this little rubber thing. I guess it just dampens the vibration probably through the prop shaft to the gearbox. The donut bolts to the gearbox and then the prop shaft bolts to the donut, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter which one bolts to which. But it was easier to take it out this way because the other ones have nuts on the back, whereas these bolts just screw straight in. Now, if you're ever doing this, the bolt at the top is quite hard to get to. So one thing you can do is you can put the gearbox in neutral. But if you can't put the gearbox in neutral, what I do is I just get a lot of extensions, right? And then we can get it from the top. Because obviously the extension's so long, it gives you the room. So I'm getting that bolt now. So we've connected up all of the important things on the underside now, I believe. Prop shaft, gearbox mounts, and all the electrical connectors. So underneath here, there's not really anything else that we need to do for a little while. But the next big thing that we've got to do is we need a brake pedal, because without a brake pedal, you can't start the car. So stupidly, I bought all 4 brake lines and I binned one of them because I thought it was scrap, but no, I needed it. So I've ordered the brake pedal, I've ordered the brake line, but it's gonna be a week until it gets here, which is really annoying. So that's gonna put everything on hold, like a lot. That, and I'm using this gun thing. So I've plumbed in all of the wiring on this suspension corner now. You can see everything's in the little clips, held up in the brackets and whatnot. So I'm just going to do the other side now. I've just been down to BMW to collect a few of the things that I needed for the M4. We've just got that brake line, which I told you I needed before. And then I've also got the water duct piece, which I was missing, that goes down there. And then this piece just goes in there like that. And all the water that runs down off your windscreen goes down these holes and it drains out of there. So it's actually quite an important piece. And now that I've got the brake line, we can put that brake line in and hopefully I can put all the brake fluid in and we can build up some brake pressure so that the car will actually start. And then I've also got this little coolant flange piece which goes on the front of the engine here. You can't actually buy this part individually from BMW. It comes complete with the water pump, which is really annoying. But luckily, I knew someone who had a dead engine, like he's blew his engine up, and he sent me this off his old engine, which is really lucky. And funnily enough, the reason why I need this is because I pinched it off my engine for the M3. So I had to get another one. And whilst we're talking about the M3, I've actually put the M3 up for raffle. So if you want a chance to win this car, just check out my description and you can buy your raffle tickets for a chance to win it. Really, really lovely car. It's got the carbon bucket seats as well. And right now, I'm just going to be putting on all of these carbon grills, which you might have seen in the M3 video. So we're putting all the grills to carbon, and I'm also putting a little front splitter across the front. It's going to look really, really good. But yeah, let's get all of this fitted to the M4 now. I do need to put a little rubber seal between this piece here because I made the mistake of not putting the rubber seal on the M3 and then I had a little coolant leak. And since I'm installing this brake line and I've got to put all the brake fluid in, I took the opportunity to get some braided brake lines. They just improve the braking performance because these are solid braided lines. You don't get any expansion in the lines when you press your brake pedal, whereas on normal brake lines, there's that little bit of expansion. So with these in, you'll have a bit of a better brake pedal. I always put these on my cars, to be honest, just because they make that little bit better difference. And I've also got some upgraded brake fluid. That's going to be the first mod for the M4, I guess. Braided lines and upgraded fluid. So I've connected that coolant flange on, and then the pipes that are remaining here, this long one, which goes all the way down the back and connects to the heater matrix down there. So I'm going to route that around now. And then the other one goes up to the reservoir tank. You can see this one has seen better days. This is from the green M4. So I'm just routing that coolant pipe all the way down the side of the engine, down to the back where it connects to the heater matrix. And then I can install that new brake line. And then it's on with the braided lines. The braided lines go from each brake pipe to your brake calipers. That's why I installed the suspension corners. So I've got some upgraded brake fluid that we're going to put in the car. I got RBF 660. I'm just pouring all of the brake fluid into the easy bleed, and then I'm connecting that up to the brake fluid reservoir, and then the other end just goes onto the tyre, and this is what pushes all the brake fluid through the system. I know people are going to be annoyed about the brake fluid just running down the caliper, but I didn't have the catch can, so... But then I needed to install the gearbox cooler and also the oil cooler before I can start the engine, otherwise all the oil is just going to spill out everywhere. And then I top the engine up with some oil. Right, so I've got all my screens and stuff in the M4, and I think it's probably ready to go. I've not tried to start it yet, but let's see if this thing starts. No fucking way. No. Oh my god. You're joking. Let's do this again. What? What do you mean? There's no way it just runs. There's no way it just runs. I've just put a car together and it just turned on. What? I literally, like, I thought it was going to be so much more difficult than that. What the hell? What the hell? Well, at least the engine works. We know the engine works. Oh my god. There's actually no way. Oh my god. I actually don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. I actually don't know what to say. What is going on? Right, well, full steam ahead now. Full steam ahead now. Let's get the suspension all in. The engine runs perfect. Oh my god, right. You know how much, like, I'm completely overwhelmed with emotion right now. The amount of hard work that's went into this. And, like, it actually works. It turns on. What do you mean? Oh my god. This is actually crazy. This is actually crazy.
A few moments later.
Right, when I got the M4 started just there, I've not recorded anything since because I wasn't meant to be working on the M4 today. I couldn't get it started the other day, so I was messing around with the wires and I had one plug not plugged in properly in the FEM. And then I just tried to start it thinking like it might start, and it started, so. And I've just been finishing off everything on the M3 today. You would have seen in the last video, literally just been recording the rest of this video. Just a little update on the BMW M3, like I said I'd give you in today's video. We've had it down to just car care and they've absolutely transformed the inside and out of this car. They've detailed it top to bottom. It looks brand new. They offer a variety of services, detailing, anything you can think of, PPFing, all that kind of stuff. And they're just based in Washington. So if you're local to me in the Northeast area, this is the place to go to. They do also just sell detailing products from their store. So if you want to buy some detailing products, make sure you check them out. This isn't a paid promotion either. They're just really sound lads.
I also had the M3 down to DSAutoworx in Blyth to have a single mid-pipe made for it. This is what it sounded like before. He's done a mint job of this. If you look closely at the welds, very, very good at what he does. Make sure to go check him out if you want any exhaust work doing.
And so yeah, like now it's 11 o'clock and I want to go home, but I also really want to work on this car. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to start at all, so that was just a bit crazy. Like I really didn't expect it to start. Well, there's no reason why. I knew in my head, like everyone else has been saying to us, like, oh, there's going to be something, like, yeah, it's going to be a headache getting that car started. And I've been like, no. Like, I think I've done everything right. Like, I can't honestly think of what I could have missed. But yeah, we're going to crack on getting the rest of this fitted up. Well, I'm recording this yesterday, but for you it'll be 2 seconds. So in the next clip, we're going to be putting all the suspension in properly because this engine runs sweet. Oh, I want to hear it again. Let's hear it again for one more time. I just want to hear it start up because oh, I couldn't believe it. The fact that it just starts up straight away as well. Wait a minute. Let me get my foot on the brake. Come on. Would you listen to that beauty? Oh yeah, that engine's good, isn't it? Runs perfectly. Oh, I'm over the moon. This is just great. It runs absolutely fine as well. Mint. But right, I'll see you in the next clip tomorrow. All right, so on the suspension corner, the first thing that I need to do before I tighten anything up is I need to put the drive shaft in. I've got the drive shaft here, so we're gonna get this in first. All right, drive shaft in. Now we need to do the drop link. I need to tighten on the tie rod and also both of the suspension arms. Same thing again on this side. I need to put the drive shaft in and then we can do all of the suspension arms. On the front of the engine, this coolant pipe is broke. It's got a big hole in it, so we're going to remove this, and I've got a new one.
So, and then this just goes on there, like so. Right, that's on now, and then this clip clips into this pipe, like that. Yes.
I've also got this pipe to go on, and this one sort of clips on the back side of the subframe.
So since it runs, that's everything on the underside pretty much done. There's no reason why I'll have to take anything back off. So I thought I'll just start putting all of the heat shields on the underside and all the metal under trays and stuff. There is also a ground which attaches to this under tray. And then there was just a few plastic under trays to install as well. Right, so that's most of the under trays and the heat shields all on the underside of the car. The only ones I'm missing are ones that go here and here. I think they're just down at the body shop, so I'll have to get them another day, but it's looking pretty complete on the bottom of here now. I just need to put the exhaust in, and I do have an exhaust over there, so I can put the exhaust on, but I'm by myself right now, so I can't lift it up by myself, but we will get that put on. But yeah, it's looking great under here now. I need to put these brackets on the side of the car. These are for the side skirts, so they're just what the side skirts clip into, and I'm making sure that I use all of the original clips and all of the original bolts in every single hole on this car, like every single thing, is secured with the correct bolt in the correct place. I've made very sure that I've been doing it that way. This is the lower part of the slam panel which the oil cooler bolts into, so I had to build that up, and there's also these two little brackets which bolt onto the subframe. Then I can slide that bottom part of the slam panel into place, and then the oil cooler bolts up onto that. Once all that was bolted up, I took these two bolts back out of the side, because this is where the side radiator bolts into. You can see it's held in with those two bolts, and I've done this on both sides. So there you can see that's both of the brackets back in, and I did bend this one back into shape. People might not be happy about this, but it's my car. I'm gonna do what I want. All right, so now that we've installed this little bottom piece, that's the carrier which holds the oil cooler. You can see that cooler across the bottom. That's for the engine oil. That sucks up air and cools the engine oil through that radiator. And then there's these two brackets on either side, and that is where the little side radiators go. So we've got these little radiators, and they just go into there like so. So I'm going to get those put in. There's also some air ducts to go on as well, so I'm just going to put them in place for now. Now that we know that the car works and all the wiring's correct, what I'm going to start to do now is just fit up everything that I can. So I've got the side skirts here. We've just put them side skirt clips down the side. The side skirts still need the carbon fiber pieces to go on, but I'm just going to clip them on the car for now so that the car looks a bit more complete. And then I'm going to start to put the door cards in. And I've also got the rear parcel shelf right here. But the first thing that I actually need to do is start to put all the airbag system in. So the seat belts, curtain airbags. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to put all 4 seat belts in. Oh my god, look at this thing. You're joking. You're joking. This is going to be crazy when I drop this on the floor. Right, now that the thing's on the floor, I can put the side skit on this side. The lift was in the way before. I couldn't clip it on. In this box is my very first mod for the M4. It is a set of rear tail lights, and these are the laser ones. So when I plug them in, you're going to see what they look like.
They're so cool. Look at those. Look at those.
They're so cool. Let me put it in properly. Wow, they're so cool. We've got the car on the floor now. No, this is crazy. Wow. And I've got so much stuff to put on. We've just painted the roof today. So in the next clip, we'll put the doors on. Yeah, the doors on the roof, and it's going to look so much more complete with the doors on the roof. I'm still waiting on the dash. So that's going to hold up the interior quite a bit. But we can make a lot of work on the front end still. And put the rad pack in, slam panel on. And then at that point, it's not going to be far at all.
Do I even need to say much? Like, do I actually even need to speak to you right now?
Or can we just have a moment to appreciate what is in front of our eyes right now? Like, this is just nuts. Absolutely crazy. We've colour matched these braces as well. You can see, even got all the sparkle in them. Properly painted. I'm going to do this brace as well, and also this brace, because why not? And all the bolts. But we're really getting there. I'm honestly just going to show you a video around the car so you can appreciate what is going on. I mean, look at the paint as well. It's just crazy. I don't know how well it's going to come across on camera, but it looks so good in real life. I put this parcel shelf on, but I need to take it back off because I've not put the boot hinges on and the bolt in underneath there. But have a look at them carbon seats as well. We just need to get the gearbox sorted and then it can actually drive. Right now it won't drive, but mad. It's so close now. I did have a set of carbon fibre wings and a carbon fibre bonnet, but I sold them because I needed the cash. So I've ordered a new set. I ordered them about a month ago, so they should be here not very long. I've also got a lot of other carbon fibre stuff coming, but everyone already knew about the wings and the bonnet. But that's why we don't have a bonnet and wings on right now. If I had those, it would look so much more complete. But that's pretty much going to be it for this video. We've made a serious amount of progress. If the gearbox wasn't immobilised, we could drive it right now as well, so that's a massive shame. But in the next video, hopefully we should be able to drive it, and it's going to be like near enough done, which is mad. I'm giving myself, well, until my carbon fibre stuff comes, to have it fully done. So about a month, I think it's going to be fully done. You can see we've, like 3 weeks ago, it was a bare shell, and we've got it running. We've got this much of it fitted up. So we've made some crazy progress. Don't forget about the raffle for the M3. It ends on the 9th of November. The link will be at the top of my description somewhere. And this is going to be the end of the video, so thank you very much for watching.